Get this, you can actually grow the world's most popular drink, yep, second only to water, right inside your own home. Today, we're going to go on a pretty amazing journey to cultivate the one, the only, true tea plant, Camellia sinensis. We're talking about unlocking the secrets to brewing a cup of tea that is 100% yours.
No, really, just stop and picture it for a second. You walk over to your windowsill, you pluck a few fresh leaves, and a little while later you're sipping a perfect cup of green or black tea that you made. I know, it sounds like something reserved for huge plantations in some far-off tropical place, but honestly, it's way more achievable than you might think.
But before we, get our hands dirty, let's just take a moment to appreciate the absolutely incredible history behind this one little plant. I mean, the story of tea is literally woven into the fabric of human history.
Just look at this timeline. It all kicks off as this ancient legend in China, with an emperor and some leaves falling into his water. Then, boom, it becomes a massive cultural deal during the Tang dynasty. From there, it makes its way to Europe with Dutch traders, and then the British turn it into a global industry in India. It is wild how this one single plant has shaped entire economies and cultures for thousands of years.
Okay, so here's something that blows my mind. Every single type of tea you've ever had, black, green, oolong, white, you name it, it all comes from this one plant species. But there are two main varieties. Think of them like two very different siblings. You've got the Sinensis variety, smaller leaves, a bit more delicate, perfect for those light green teas. And then you have its big, bold sibling, the Assamica variety, with these huge leaves that give us those strong, robust black teas. Same plant family, totally different personalities.
All right, so we've got the history down. But why? Why would you want to grow tea yourself? Let's get into the real heart of it. The powerful reasons for taking on what is, let's be honest, a pretty rewarding challenge. What's the real pull here?
Well, when you actually break it down, the benefits are pretty amazing. First up, purity and control. We're talking truly organic tea, with zero pesticides because you are in charge. It's also basically a living science project, a hands-on botany lesson on your windowsill. Plus, let's be real, the plant itself is gorgeous, with these glossy evergreen leaves and pretty little flowers. And maybe the best reason of all, the freshness. The flavor you get from leaves you just picked, it is on a whole other level.
And this is the real magic of growing your tea plant indoors. See, this plant is native to the subtropics, but when you bring it inside, you essentially get to hack the climate. It doesn't matter if you're in chilly New York or rainy London, you can create a perfect little pocket of the tropics right there in your own living room.
Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How do you actually do this? Let's walk through all the essential steps to get your own thriving tea plant growing happily indoors.
So you've basically got 3 different ways to kick this journey off. You can start from a seed, which is awesome if you want the full life cycle experience, but man, it takes a lot of patience. You could also start from a cutting, which basically gives you an exact clone of the parent plant. Or there's the fast track, just buy a young plant from a nursery. That lets you jump right into the fun part, the growing.
Think of this as your secret weapon, your cheat sheet for success. Your whole goal is to trick this plant into thinking it's back home. So that means it needs a ton of light, like 12 to 16 hours a day. A grow light is probably going to be your best friend here. It likes to be warm, somewhere between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius, and it loves humidity. So misting it or setting it on a tray of pebbles with water will make it super happy. And finally, the soil is key. It has to be acidic and drain really well. If you can nail these 4 things, you are golden.
And here's a pro tip. Do not be afraid to prune your plant. It might feel a little harsh, but pinching back the tips does 2 really important things. 1, it keeps the plant from getting all tall and scraggly, and encourages it to grow nice and bushy. And 2, even more importantly, it stimulates that fresh new growth, that classic 2 leaves and a bud, which is exactly the part you'll be harvesting for the best tea.
All right, so you've grown your plant, you've harvested the leaves. Now for the truly mind-bending part. This is where you transform those simple green leaves into the tea you're actually going to drink. This, right here, is where the real alchemy begins.
If you remember just one word from this whole explainer, please make it this one, oxidation. It's the exact same natural process that makes a sliced apple turn brown. Your ability to control how much or how little the tea leaves oxidize, well, that is the entire secret. It's what determines whether you end up with green tea, black tea, or anything in between. It's that simple and honestly, that profound.
So let's say you want to make green tea. Your whole mission is to stop oxidation in its tracks.
After you let the leaves wilt just a tiny bit, you hit them with the most important step, fixing. This is just a fancy word for quickly heating the leaves, either by steaming them or tossing them in a hot pan. That heat stops those browning enzymes from doing their thing, locking in that beautiful green color and fresh flavor. After that, you just roll them and dry them. Done.
But what if you want black tea? Well, you flip the script completely. You do the exact opposite. You encourage oxidation. You wither the leaves, then you roll them pretty aggressively to bruise them and really get that process going. Then you just let them sit in a warm, humid spot until they turn this deep, coppery brown color and start smelling amazing. The final drying step is what finally stops the process. It's incredible, right? Two totally different drinks from the very same leaves.
So, we've pretty much reached the end of the journey. But before you rush out and buy a tea plant, it's really important that we talk about both the challenges and, of course, the incredible rewards.
Okay, time for a little reality check. This is not a cactus you can just forget about for a month. It needs pretty consistent attention. And you're not going to be harvesting enough to open up your own tea shop. This is all about quality, not quantity. And maybe the biggest thing, you're going to need patience. A lot of it. We're talking 2, maybe 3 years before your plant is mature enough to give you a decent, regular harvest.
But, and this is a very big but, the payoff is just huge. This quote really says it all. That feeling of accomplishment, of true satisfaction, when you sit down to sip a cup of tea that you have personally guided through every single step of its life. From a tiny seed all the way to that final brew, there's really nothing else like it.
So what you have here is a journey that's part history, part botany, and part craft. And it all culminates in what will be, without a doubt, the most personal cup of tea you will ever taste. It creates this deep connection to an ancient drink and a feeling of satisfaction that's hard to beat. So the only real question left is, are you ready to start yours?